Hello everyone, my name is Kristen Blake and I will be analyzing Exquise today. Although written while straddling the Romantic and modern periods, Exquise contains many Romantic-esque distinguishing characteristics. Hang along for the ride to see why. Reynaldo Ahn began composing a series of 7 songs to fit the text of poet Paul Verlaine in 1887. And he finished the set only 3 short years later. His final product included a series under the name Chanson Grise. Verlaine was said to have listened on one occasion to the compositional work Ahn completed of his 7 poems. Upon hearing his work, it is said the poet wept to hear Ahn's songs. Other artists inspired both men who contributed to this piece. Verlaine is said to have drawn his inspiration from the paintings of Jean-Antoine Watteau, as you see here on the slide. Watteau was an inspiration in the formation of a more naturalistic Romantic style. In analyzing paintings by Watteau, it can be concluded that Verlaine was intentional in the writing of such a sensuous and emotional song. Most of the poetry Verlaine wrote was with the intent of being put to music. Composer Reynaldo Ahn gleaned his inspiration for the set Chanson Grise from Claude Debussy. Their musical styles are quite paralleled in form and tonality. Both composers generally wrote songs marked pianissimo and mezzo piano due to the peaceful and calming effect they desired on their audiences. Researcher Robin Bowman states, Ahn prescribed some politely sensuous sounds, alike for Verlaine's text of ecstasy and Exquise. The set Chanson Grise is very conservative in nature. Ahn was only 12 years old when he began composing the series. He studied at the Paris Conservatory under Jules Massenet, where he learned basic compositional skills that he maintained throughout his life. The first performance of Chanson Grise was in the home of French author Alphonse Daudet. It was undoubtedly a small group in attendance where American opera singer Sybil Sanderson debuted the song cycle. Ahn is not one of the most renowned composers of the late 1800s. However, even during the years after his death, when Ahn's music fell out of favor, Exquise, the 5th song of the group, remained known. For better understanding of the piece, we must first understand the meaning of the lyrics, originally written in French. In a poetic translation and simply stating the contextual story, this song is about a woman who is meeting her beloved or betrothed at a beautiful lake in the woods. She waits for him to arrive, and as he does so, the accompaniment cadences in a 5-chord and resumes with an arpeggiating 1-chord. At the end of each verse, we see similar cadences throughout the course of the song, which will be discussed later. The final and climactic verse says a calming descends upon them in a romantic hour exquisite. From the piece we will listen to, sung by Anne-Sophie von Otter, the text translates as such. The moon white shines in the woods. From each branch comes a voice beneath the bough. Oh, well-beloved. The pond reflects deeply mirrored the silhouette of the willow black where the wind cries. Let us dream it is the hour. A vast and tender appeasement seems to descend from the firmament that the skies make iridescent. It is the hour exquisite. Next, we will look at a picture analysis of the song. Exquise is considered a strophic art song. We'll hear a recurring melody throughout. First, we will hear 3 measures of an instrumental introduction, followed by the first verse. I will indicate different sections by following along with the cursor. You will also note that the measures are the sections are cut up into different measure segments. I will count along with the different measures. The A sections within the verses are all varied ever so slightly. The first seems to be split up into measure phrases of 4 plus 5 plus 3, and the A prime is split only contains the 4 plus 5 phrasal measures, and the A double prime breaks the phrasing trend from the first couple by splitting it up into 6 plus 2. Two, three, one, two, three, four, five, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four, five. So, as you can hear from the song, there are actually 2 B sections in the piece, and both are considered to be climaxes. The vocalist comes in at measure 16 alone, followed by the accompaniment. The second B section, or the B prime, is the more dramatic of the two. Like the first climax, the vocalist comes in during 2 full measures of rest in the piano. The final note is followed by a series of rests with fermatas on the rest. For analysis purposes, this is likely due to the composer's desire for the story to linger in the air. It never reaches a final resolve, which alludes to the fact that An did not want the story to have a definite ending. An, following the tradition of the Romantic period, explicitly describes how to perform the piece. Throughout the song, he has strategically placed various words and hints as to how the song is to be performed. Initially, the composer notates that the piece should be performed infiniment doux et calme, or in other words, extremely soft and calm. At other important and precise moments of the piece, he writes the words in French delicately, discreet, even more quietly, and slowing down. These words, when properly understood, help the musician to be more precise to the message within the song while in performance. Many of On's earlier compositions, including Lord Exquise, were considered conservative because he maintained simple chord progressions, staying within 1, 4, and 5 chords in their inversions. We also note that the key signature is in B major and the time signature is 6/8. As we all know, major keys are generally more pleasing to the ear. 6/8 time is also considered a waltz-like and lilting type of song. Combined with the lyrics, it creates a floating feel. These two simple compositional choices in key and meter mirror the instructions to perform the piece softly and calmly. On includes many seemingly insignificant contextual elements that drive the soprano's melody. In measures 6, 10, 25, and 36, the second beat of the duplet is always placed on an unimportant syllable, such as the or a, or the non-stressed syllable of the word. The duplets do not rush the sound, rather these minor details drive the story within the melody by providing compositional candy, as I like to call it. These are bits and pieces of exciting detail within the piece. Along the same lines, the melody has a relatively mild range. The vocalist stays between B3 and D5 throughout the course of the piece. Within that range, the melody is stepwise with the exception of 4 leaps. These leaps are found in the words, "Oh dear beloved," in measures 26 through 27, which is a sixth, and in the phrase, "It is the hour exquisite," in measures 41 through 42, which is an octave leap. L'Heure Exquise, or the Hour Exquisite, is a powerfully moving piece. It strictly follows conservative compositional guidelines, which helps allude to a sense of blissful tranquility. Dissonances are very uncommon and out of character for a composition such as this. On skillfully expressed Verlaine's text in notational form, he put to music Paul Verlaine's story of a tranquil romantic night. The pianist and vocalist skillfully work together to complement one another to represent such an intimate poem. The greater one understands a piece contextually as well as theoretically, the more effective they are able to portray such emotion to an audience. Furthermore, with greater understanding comes a more enjoyable experience for the performer as well as the audience. I love the feeling and emotion behind L'Heure Exquise. I hope you are able to get a better feel for the emotion and tranquility of this piece. Thanks, everyone!